Today, I want to talk to you not just about faith, but about alignment, about the unseen currents that shape our lives and how, when we tune into a greater intelligence, unexpected blessings don't just arrive, they become inevitable. There's something happening within you right now. You may not see it with your eyes, you may not feel it yet in your hands, but something is moving. You are being guided, and not by chance, not by fate, but by the divine intelligence that breathed life into you from the beginning. Let me ask you something. What if blessings aren't something you chase, but something you tune into? You see, most people wake up every day, reliving the same past, rehearsing the same limitations, expecting their outer world to change while their inner world stays the same. But that's not how the system works. That's not how blessings find you. Blessings don't operate on the frequency of fear. They don't come into a life filled with resistance and self-doubt. They enter when your thoughts, your emotions, and your energy align with the divine blueprint of who you really are. And who are you? You are not your past. You are not your pain. You are not the story you've been telling yourself about why things haven't worked out. You are a divine being connected to a vast field of intelligence, creativity, love, and power. And when you begin to live from that space, when you remember, not with your head but with your heart, everything begins to change. This is where the unexpected happens, because it's not unexpected to God, it's only unexpected to your limited mind. Miracles, opportunities, healing, provision, these are not anomalies, these are your birthright. But you must become the person who can receive them. So here's the shift. Stop asking when it's going to happen, and start asking who you need to become so you can meet the blessing halfway. When your internal state changes, when gratitude becomes your baseline, when peace becomes your priority, when joy becomes your default, you become a magnet and the field responds. God is releasing blessings not based on your effort, but your alignment. Not based on striving, but surrender. Not because you earned them, but because you finally believed you were worthy of them. And yes, they will be unexpected. Not because they were never meant for you, but because you finally stepped into the version of yourself who can see and receive them. So today, I challenge you. Take your attention off the problem and place it on the solution that already exists in the field of possibility. Take your eyes off what's missing and put them on the presence of the miraculous. Speak as if it's already yours, feel it before it arrives. Live as though God has already moved on your behalf, because in a realm beyond time He already has. This is not wishful thinking. This is spiritual technology. This is transformation. This is the renewing of your mind, the opening of your heart, and the shifting of your energy. And when you do this consistently, not just once, not just when it feels good, but daily, intentionally, you won't have to chase blessings anymore. They'll find you, they'll recognize you, because you've become the person who was always meant to carry them. God is releasing unexpected blessings in your life, not someday, now, and all you have to do is say yes. Blessings are tuned into, not chased. This idea challenges the way many people approach life and spiritual fulfillment. We're often taught that success, happiness, and divine favor are things we must work tirelessly to obtain, as though they exist somewhere outside of us, waiting to be earned or discovered. But in reality, blessings are not out there. They are within reach, available in every moment, and they respond not to effort alone, but to frequency, to alignment, to state of being. Just as a radio must be set to the right station to receive the signal, we must align our thoughts, emotions, and energy with the frequency of the life we want to live. Most people live in a state of reaction, responding to the world based on past experiences, wounds, and limitations. They pray for change while staying emotionally anchored to fear, lack, and unworthiness. But blessings don't emerge in the vibration of fear. They manifest when we shift into a new internal state, one of openness, gratitude, expectancy, and trust. This isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing a new energetic posture even when circumstances haven't yet changed. When we do that, we begin to access a different stream of possibility. Blessings are already present in the quantum field, waiting for a point of contact in your awareness. They don't need to be pursued, they need to be perceived. Tuning in means stepping beyond the familiar emotions of survival and stepping into the elevated emotions of creation. It means letting go of control and embracing the truth that the universe, or divine intelligence, responds not to what we want, but to what we are being. When we embody the feeling of the life we desire, we create a vibrational match to the blessings that are already ours. Your internal state creates your external reality. This is not just a spiritual idea. It is a foundational principle of how consciousness interacts with the world. Every thought you think and every emotion you feel generates a frequency. That frequency is a signal broadcast into the field around you, and it draws back experiences that resonate with it. If your inner world is dominated by stress, anxiety, or self-doubt, the external world will reflect those same patterns in your relationships, opportunities, and circumstances. The outer is always a mirror of the inner. Many people try to change their lives by rearranging external conditions, switching jobs, chasing new relationships, accumulating possessions, believing that if something out there shifts, peace and happiness will follow. But that approach is backward. True, lasting transformation begins within. The way you think about yourself, the emotions you consistently feel, and the beliefs you hold silently shape what shows up in your life. If you carry an inner narrative of lack, life will echo scarcity. If your heart radiates wholeness, the world will respond with abundance. Science now supports what spiritual traditions have always taught. Your brain and body don't distinguish between what's real and what's vividly imagined. That means you can begin to create a new reality from the inside out. By practicing elevated emotions, gratitude, joy, compassion, love, you train your body to experience a new future before it even happens. This internal shift begins to recalibrate your energy field and alters the signals you emit. The more you embody a state of wholeness, the more your environment organizes around that coherence. Your reality changes not when circumstances improve, but when you become the person who naturally draws in those improved circumstances. Change your internal world, and your external world has no choice but to respond. The divine intelligence is always guiding you. This intelligence is not separate from you. It is the very force that animates your breath, sustains your heartbeat, and orchestrates the rhythms of the universe with absolute precision. It's the same intelligence that causes flowers to bloom, galaxies to spin, and cells to repair. It knows exactly where you are, what you need, and who you are becoming. Most people miss its guidance not because it's absent, but because they're too entangled in noise, fear, and distraction to recognize its subtle whisper. This guidance doesn't always come through dramatic signs or audible voices. Often it arrives as a quiet inner knowing, an intuition, a sense of peace or unease that nudges you in one direction or another. It shows up through synchronicities, those meaningful coincidences that seem too aligned to be random. It works through the subconscious, through dreams, through inspired thoughts that seem to come from nowhere. And when you begin to slow down, turn inward, and cultivate awareness, you start to recognize the patterns. You begin to see that you are never alone, that something greater is weaving the threads of your life into a masterpiece. The key to receiving this guidance is presence. When you're caught in past regrets or future anxieties, you're not tuned to the frequency of divine communication. But in stillness, in gratitude, in deep trust, you align with it. You begin to feel supported, even in uncertainty. You begin to see that closed doors are often divine protection, and delays are recalibrations, not denials. You begin to surrender control and allow yourself to be led by something far wiser than your conscious mind. The divine intelligence doesn't operate on your timeline, but it is always on time. It's always working for your highest good. You must become the version of yourself that can receive the blessing. The future you desire already exists as a potential in the field of infinite possibilities, but it can only materialize through a version of you that matches its frequency. If you're asking for abundance but carrying the energy of lack, the field responds not to your words but to your vibration. The blessing you're waiting for is not withheld. It's simply incompatible with your current state of being. Transformation is the bridge between where you are and what you've been asking for. Becoming that version of yourself means embodying the thoughts, emotions, and behaviors of the person who already lives in that desired reality. It means letting go of familiar habits that belong to your past identity, fear, self-sabotage, resentment, and doubt, and choosing instead to cultivate the traits of your future self: confidence, gratitude, clarity, and love. This isn't about pretending or performing. It's about aligning authentically with who you are becoming and allowing that energy to guide your choices. When you begin to think greater than your environment, greater than your current circumstances, you enter the creative zone of change. You're no longer defined by your past, you become defined by a compelling vision of your future. Your nervous system begins to wire in new patterns. Your body begins to believe that the new reality is already unfolding. And from this elevated state, you begin to attract people, situations, and opportunities that resonate with your evolution. This process requires awareness and repetition. You don't become the new version of yourself once. It's a daily practice of remembering, aligning, and choosing again. As you do, the gap between who you are and what you desire begins to close, not because life suddenly changes, but because you have. Gratitude, peace, and joy align you with the miraculous. These elevated emotional states are not just pleasant feelings. They are powerful frequencies that shift your entire energetic field. When you embody these emotions, you move out of survival mode and into creation. You become coherent, aligned, and receptive. The heart opens, the mind becomes clear, and the body relaxes into a state of harmony. In this space, you are no longer resisting life. You are flowing with it. You are no longer searching for the blessing. You are becoming a match to it. Gratitude is the signal to the universe that you already have what you desire. It's not a response to receiving, it's the cause. When you feel grateful before the blessing arrives, you are signaling that you trust it's already on its way. This level of trust collapses time between intention and manifestation. Peace is the state that allows you to remain grounded in the unknown. It says, I don't have to know how it will happen. I only have to know that it will. Peace creates space for divine timing and allows you to release control without losing vision. Joy elevates your vibration to one of abundance. It reminds your body of what it feels like to be whole, to be free, to be fully alive. Joy is not the result of external success, it's a state you can choose now. And when you do, you magnetize more reasons to feel joyful. These emotions are not random, they are tools for transformation. They override the chemical patterns of fear and lack. They train your nervous system to expect goodness. They open your awareness to new possibilities that your survival brain cannot perceive. When you live in these states, you stop waiting for the miracle and start walking in it. God releases blessings through alignment, not striving. The idea that blessings come through relentless effort or struggle is deeply ingrained in many people's minds. We've been taught to work hard, to push, to hustle, believing that the more we exert ourselves, the more we will receive. But this perspective misses the truth that the universe, or divine intelligence, is not a transactional system of earning. It's a system of resonance. Blessings aren't granted based on how hard we try. They flow when we align with the frequency of what we desire. Alignment is about being in harmony with the present moment and with your inner state. It's the understanding that you don't need to chase blessings because they are already part of your energetic makeup. You simply need to match the energy of your desires. This shift in thinking requires moving away from a mindset of lack, competition, or scarcity, and instead cultivating an inner environment of abundance, trust, and peace. When you align with the energy of the life you want to create, you begin to move with the flow of life instead of against it. The process of alignment involves stepping into a state of trust. It means letting go of the constant striving and doing and learning to receive. You can't force a flower to bloom by pulling on it. It needs to grow at its own pace, in its own time, under the right conditions. Similarly, when you align with your highest potential, the blessings you seek will emerge naturally. There is no need for excessive force or struggle. Your role is to become the person who is already in alignment with your blessings and trust that the universe will deliver them at the right time and in the right way. Your worthiness determines your receptivity. This is a profound truth that many people overlook. We often think of blessings as something that must be earned or deserved, but in reality, your ability to receive is tied directly to your sense of worthiness. If you don't believe you are deserving of blessings, no matter how much you desire them or how much effort you put in, they will elude you. This isn't because the universe withholds its abundance. It's because you haven't yet matched your own belief in your worth to the magnitude of the blessings available to you. Worthiness is not something that can be earned through external achievements or approvals. It is an inherent quality within you. It's the recognition that you were born whole and complete, with an unlimited capacity to receive. When you truly understand and embody this, you start to open up to the endless possibilities around you. The energy of worthiness radiates from within, and it's magnetic. You begin to attract what matches your perception of yourself. If you believe you are worthy of love, success, and happiness, then these things naturally find their way into your life. But if you hold a belief that you are unworthy or undeserving, no matter how much you strive or work, you will continually push blessings away. This is where self-love and self-acceptance become transformative. They are the gateways to opening your heart to what's already yours. When you acknowledge your value, your connection to the divine, and your inherent goodness, your inner vibration aligns with the frequency of abundance. You stop blocking your blessings. Instead, you create an energetic pathway that allows them to flow effortlessly into your life. Your worthiness is the key to unlocking everything you've been asking for. Unexpected blessings are natural in divine order. In a world where we are taught to expect effort, calculation, and precise planning to yield results, it's easy to forget that the greatest gifts often arrive when we least expect them. The idea of unexpected blessings is not a contradiction to divine order. In fact, it's the most natural expression of it. The universe doesn't operate within the confines of time and space the way we do. It's not bound by our plans, schedules, or expectations. Divine intelligence works beyond human comprehension, orchestrating moments of serendipity and synchronicity that align perfectly with our highest good. When you open yourself to the idea that blessings are a natural outcome of divine order, you stop trying to force things into being. You stop looking for proof of their arrival, and instead you start to trust that they are on their way. Unexpected blessings are often those things we couldn't have planned for. The moments of grace that come at precisely the right time, offering us opportunities we could never have anticipated. They arrive as solutions to problems we didn't even know we had, or as a pleasant surprise that shifts the course of our lives in an entirely new direction. The key to receiving these blessings is to release control and the need to predict. Trust that the universe knows exactly what you need and when you need it. The timing may not fit your human schedule, but it will always fit the bigger picture of your life's purpose. When you align with this truth, you create space for these blessings to manifest. They won't always look like what you expected, but they will always be exactly what you needed. The unexpected is simply a reminder that there is a higher order at work in your life, one that is always moving you toward your greatest good. Transformation begins with the renewal of your mind. This is the first and most essential step in creating lasting change in your life. How you think about yourself, the world around you, and the possibilities in front of you directly influences your ability to manifest the life you desire. Most people live on autopilot, thinking and reacting the same way they always have, and as a result, they create the same experiences over and over again. But transformation requires a shift in consciousness, and that shift begins with changing the way you perceive yourself and your world. Your thoughts shape your reality. The stories you tell yourself about who you are and what you can or cannot do form the foundation of your life experience. If you believe you are limited or unworthy, those beliefs will shape your actions and consequently your outcomes. But when you consciously begin to question these limiting beliefs and replace them with empowering ones, you change the very foundation upon which your reality is built. This is not about positive thinking as a superficial tool, but about fundamentally transforming your belief system to reflect the truth of who you are and what you are capable of. When your mind is renewed, you begin to see opportunities where you once saw obstacles. You become open to new possibilities that you previously overlooked. Your perception of the world shifts, and so does your ability to receive. This mental transformation allows you to transcend old patterns, break free from past limitations, and step into a new version of yourself, one that is capable of attracting the blessings and experiences that align with your highest potential. The renewal of your mind is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing process of self-awareness, growth, and evolution. By consistently reshaping your thoughts, you unlock the power within to create a life that reflects your true worth and potential. Live as if the blessing has already arrived. This is one of the most powerful practices you can adopt in your life, and it shifts everything. Most people wait for external circumstances to change before they feel happy, successful, or fulfilled. They believe that once they achieve a specific goal, acquire a certain possession, or reach a particular milestone, then, and only then, will they be worthy of feeling joy or gratitude. But this approach keeps them locked in a cycle of constant striving and waiting, never fully living in the present moment or embracing the fullness of their potential. When you live as if the blessing has already arrived, you are engaging with the energy of fulfillment rather than lack. It's about embodying the feelings and states of being you would have if everything you wanted were already in your life. This isn't about pretending or living in denial of your current reality. It's about choosing to feel abundant, happy, and at peace regardless of your circumstances. It's the realization that you don't have to wait for a change in the external world to feel complete. You are whole, and when you start to live from that place of wholeness, you start to see that the blessings are already unfolding around you. Living in this way is an act of faith. It requires you to trust that the universe has already set in motion everything necessary for your desires to manifest. By embodying the energy of having received, you align yourself with the divine flow of abundance. Your thoughts, emotions, and actions begin to reflect the reality you are creating. This shift in mindset is not just about waiting for things to come. It's about becoming the person who naturally attracts them, because you are already vibrating at the frequency of your desires. When you live as though the blessing is already yours, the universe responds accordingly,